It was a normal day at school, nothing out of the ordinary. The sun was shining, the chatter of students filled the hallways, and everyone was waiting for the bell to ring so they could head home. I remember it was Friday and everyone was already in that weekend mood, chatting with friends, joking around, and just counting the minutes until we were free. But that normality was about to be shattered in a way I'll never forget. I was in the middle of history class, not exactly paying attention as usual. Our teacher was droning on about some ancient civilization while we sat in our desks, half listening, half waiting for the bell. Then, out of nowhere, the intercom crackled to life. The principal's voice came through, shaky, almost frantic. "This is not a drill. Lock down the building immediately. I repeat, this is not a drill. Lock down now." The words hit me like a punch to the stomach. We all froze. The teacher, usually so calm and collected, quickly rushed to the door and slammed it shut. He went over to the window, pulled down the blinds, and turned off the lights. The classroom fell into complete silence. I could feel my heart beating in my chest as I tried to make sense of what was happening. What was going on? We waited for what felt like hours, even though I knew it had only been a few minutes. The silence in the room was unbearable, the tension thick as everyone's eyes darted nervously around the room. Then, suddenly, a sound broke the stillness. It was a loud bang, like something heavy had been thrown against the walls. Another bang, and then more, like someone was hitting lockers with a hammer. The sound grew louder, closer, and I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. This wasn't a drill. This was real. Something was wrong. I looked at my friends and I could see the fear in their eyes. One of the girls in the back of the room started crying, and it didn't take long for the rest of us to feel the panic rising. We could hear footsteps now, fast and erratic, getting closer to our door. My stomach twisted into knots. The sounds grew louder, frantic. Then a voice, low, guttural, almost crazed, echoed down the hallway. "I know you're in there. Open the door. Open the door, or I'll make you." The door. The pounding on the door began, hard and fast, making the whole room shake. I wanted to scream, to run, but I couldn't move. We all sat there, frozen, as the man outside continued to slam his fists against the door, shouting threats. My heart was racing in my chest, my breath shallow as I tried to remain calm, but the fear was almost suffocating. What was going on? Was he armed? Was he going to break in? The noise grew more intense, more violent. At one point, I swear I heard the sound of glass shattering somewhere down the hall. I tried to stay quiet, keep my breathing steady, but it felt impossible. The girl in front of me was shaking so badly I thought she might pass out. I glanced at the clock on the wall. Time seemed to slow down, every second stretching into eternity. Then, as suddenly as it had started, the banging stopped. Complete silence followed, and I couldn't tell if it was worse or better. My teacher motioned for us to stay quiet as he carefully approached the door, peeking through the small window. A few long moments passed before he slowly backed away, his face pale. He told us to stay put, not to move, and that help was on the way. But it didn't feel real. I still couldn't understand what was happening. After what felt like forever, we finally heard the voice of the principal again, though it was calm now. "The situation is under control. The building is safe. Everyone please remain in your classrooms until further notice." We sat there in stunned silence for a while longer, trying to process what had just happened. Later, we found out that a man had somehow gotten into the school. He wasn't a student, and no one knew how he'd gotten past security. He was reportedly acting erratically, and from what I heard, he had been making threats, shouting incoherently, and trying to break into classrooms. The police arrived, but by the time they'd gotten there, the man had disappeared. Some rumors spread that he had been armed, but nothing was confirmed. They never found him. I still don't know what happened to that man, and I don't think I ever will. But what I do know is that day changed something in me. I never took the safety of school for granted again. We all go through the motions day by day, thinking that nothing can happen. But the truth is, you never know. It only takes a moment for everything to turn upside down.